My dear black people, Dr. Garvey Jr. recently said, between 1955 and 1975, for up to 3.5 million people killed in Vietnam, we all call it the Vietnam War. Between 1914 and 1918, for up to 20 million people killed in Europe, we all call it the World War I. Between 1939 and 1945, for up to 85 million people killed again in Europe, we all call it World War II. So, why, between 1452 and 1860, for more than 100 million African people killed and 11 million more kidnapped, we call it a trade? The name of this multi-secular and most traumatic event in the history of humanity should be called the 𝐉𝐻𝐻 War. But why 𝐉𝐻𝐻? On June 18, 1452, Pope Nicholas V declared war on the people living in Africa. Let me quote him. "We grant to you full and free power, through the apostolic authority, to invade, conquer, fight, subjugate the Saracens, pagans and any other unbelievers and enemies of Christ wherever they may be, and to reduce their persons into perpetual servitude." Perpetual servitude. This war was a military invasion using the most advanced military equipment of its time. This war did not distinguish between combatants and civilians, which qualified it as a total war, and therefore a crime against humanity, without any statute of limitation. As such, nowadays, all black people in the West descended from these prisoners of war have the right to hold plebiscites so that each person has the right to choose whether they want to return to Africa, establish a sovereign nation of their own, integrate into the society where they currently live, or emigrate somewhere else. Did my dear black people know that? Huh? This is why a campaign has been launched to request an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice, to get the highest court on the planet to answer some of the most important questions for our dear black people. Is the 𝐉𝐻𝐻 war a crime against humanity? Is there a statute of limitation regarding reparations for this war? Were the people captured at the time prisoners of war, and do their descendants retain that status until their final release and repatriation under the Geneva Convention? Have the Afro-descendants, now within the United States, ever been converted into United States citizens, and divested altogether of their original foreign African nationality? What rights do the Afro-descendants throughout the Americas and Caribbean have to exercise self-determination and conduct plebiscites? What are the legal consequences that arise for all states and the United Nations from the above? Dear black people, if you too want the International Court of Justice to reply to these questions, please click the link on the description and give your input on the request. We need you, and we all need each other. Thank you.